You guys, you gotta really stop making fun of my boy Matty M. Williams. He's trying his hardest. So it has been a couple months, which means there is once again a new Givenchy collection by Matthew M. Williams to talk about. And this one is just as hated as the last ones. So of course we're going to talk about those crazy shoes that people are calling like a Bowser potato, but we're also going to talk about everything else. And he's kind of caught up in a weird spot. I thought at the very least that the hypebeasts would like him, but for them it's like too fancy, it seems like, and they say it's fugly and weird and too expensive. But then the high fashion people, it's too hypebeast for them, and they make fun of it and say it's ugly and it's low and gross, whatever. So he really can't seem to please anyone, but we're gonna see what the actual merits are and criticize it where it's appropriate. So let's check this collection out. But before we get going, I ask you to subscribe to the channel. If you like this video, or even if you don't, the videos are only going to get better. So even if you hate this one, you can subscribe and you'll like the future ones. I promise you, it doesn't cost you anything. Just check it out, click that button below, and I thank you dearly. So the first piece that we're given is a women's piece. And right off the bat, I actually really like it. I love the clean white colorway, but then you've got these kind of cream gray, maybe silver lapels coming out. They're quite large lapels as well. They've got this kind of metal closure, which is a common theme throughout the collection, as we'll see. And even that kind of turtleneck bikini, it's kind of hard to see under that what it is, but I could see a lot of female celebrities, singers, things like that, wearing this just on its own, and I bet it looks great. Like, it's right up that alley for that clientele. There's a lot of jewelry, which is a big thing that Matthew has brought into Givenchy that wasn't necessarily as big before, because Alix, his kind of Cuban links, crazy huge chains, stuff like that have been huge for the brand. So Givenchy, he's bringing that right over with him. The pants are a little bit weird, like they bunch out at the bottom and then they come down really far, kind of over the back heel of the foot, and you really can't see much. It's not the best way to accentuate footwear, but maybe that's why he used these kind of thong sandals in here, because that's the best way to still give it kind of a pop, even though most of the foot is covered. So overall, I'd say this is a very successful look. And then we get our first menswear look. So this one, it also has that metal kind of tooth crystal. I can't tell exactly what it is, but that closure, there's no button or anything, and it just comes straight down. It's a really cool look, really clean. That piece, the button up, I guess, that comes underneath, it has these asymmetrical double snaps at the neck. I have a Pierre Moss piece like that I love a lot, so this piece is right up my alley. And then the bag, of course, is super, super, super extra. That logo chain is fucking massive. I don't know, that you could kill somebody with that chain alone. Like, there aren't many bag straps that you can murder a man with, but this is one of them. So it ain't for me, but I'm sure that thing will sell. There's definitely a market for that. So this is a great look for me. This one, it looks like we get essentially the same suit, just now in white. Although the neck does look a little different. It doesn't have the same snaps, even though it's still like a turtle kind of coming up. But we'll leave that aside. The same bag, but with a gold chain. The only really different thing here is the footwear. And this looks more like a kind of sock sneaker, which are pretty played out at this point. Like, I don't like calling anything dead or it's over, it's not cool anymore. All I'm saying is that it's a style that has been done over and over again by these luxury brands, so it's not necessarily original anymore. That doesn't mean it can't be done well, it just means it has to be done differently to stand out. And this one, I'm only seeing it from the front, so I can't say too much right now, but right now I'm not seeing enough that makes it different. Now, essentially the same look, but I am including it because we get a side look at those shoes, this time in white. I do like this colorway more. I like the contrast between the white and the gray. And there are some differences that make it somewhat worthwhile. So they've gotten rid of that kind of chunky modular sole, like the NMD speed trainer type of sole. And this one, they've got more of a waffle, which has been coming in more and more lately, very much in style. So it's definitely on trend. But again, I'm not seeing anything earth-shattering here. This one is wild. This jacket, so you've got these studs going down the sleeve in all of these different cutout shapes, different lengths and things. And I definitely don't mind the idea. I don't hate studs by any means. I think they're a very cool style. Honestly, I come from the punk scene where kind of customizing your leather jackets, denim jackets with various studs and patches are just part of the culture. So that idea, it has resonance with me. And I'm sure it's done very, very well with crazy atelier work. So far be it from me to criticize their work. I'm sure it's done well, but just the way it's laid out, the conceptual ideas of it, the different shapes and the spacings and lengths, it just looks kind of messy here. Like you got kind of a bunch of appliques that you bought from the craft store and you just started sticking them on and seeing how they looked. It's just a bit eh. So this right here is really what we're looking for out of Givenchy under MMW right now. So this is something, it doesn't necessarily look like anything else. It's leather or pleather, PVC, I don't know what it is. I'm sure it's leather, it's Givenchy, they want to be able to charge 12 grand for this suit, so let's just assume it's leather. There's a lot of cool elements here. Again, I like the snap detailing at the neck there, a lot of that at the sleeves, and even on the pants there, these weird kind of cargo details, but then it comes up into a kind of high wrap waist there, and a crop kind of for the jacket. So there's a lot of styles here. This one reads to me as totally unisex. I think a man or a woman could wear this and it would look great. So more of this, please. Sometimes you get some highs like that last one, and now you get a low with this. So the shirt, it's a tank top. It looks more like a bulletproof vest, but it also looks like a very, very, very thin material, so it's not protecting you from anything. You would be dead in a second, so it's not a very bulletproof vest, Matthew M. Williams. I can't even talk right because I'm already dead because I tried wearing this and I got shot, okay? The pants are very odd. I don't know if this is a pair of pants and then an attachment that comes, you pull up, or if this is all one piece. But this is a very streetwear thing, right? Streetwear is based around utility. So you're thinking of like workwear, stuff like that, stuff that has a use, and then you're making it more luxe and adding that fashion element to it. But the question here is, what is the usefulness of this? I see where you're taking these elements from, but what are you making them into? Like, you're wearing sandals, but then you've also got these gaiters. Is that what they're called? Gaiters on? I don't really know what to call them. But these leather gaiters, that's what I'll just call them. These leather alligators. So the look just doesn't make sense. The sandals, they're weird, but they're cool. They've got the double Velcro, I'm guessing, straps over. They've got, I'm sure they're branded with the monogram over that. So they're pretty cool, kind of Suicoke style. So I like the sandals. Everything else is just fucking odd. This jacket is another weird one. It's a very plain jacket, like just very uninteresting. But it looks like they knew it was uninteresting, so they just started trying to do stuff to it to make it more interesting. So like, as a kid, I never knew how to do origami, but I wanted to, so I would just fold up the piece of paper and then just like cut triangles out of it and then unfold it and hope it would turn into some cool origami thing, but it would look like shit. And that looks like what they did here to the side of this jacket. Like they just started cutting pieces out and hope it would look cool. And then again, you've got the kind of flap detailing at the shoulders with these weird differently shaped studs coming out of it. It's just a lot of extra elements on a lot of nothing. I know we're talking a lot about women's wear here. I'm sure we'll get more men's, but I'm just talking about what we're being shown here. But I do want to say this look, it looks great. It's a nice little clean kind of cocktail dress, very body fitting. It looks great. She looks sexy. I like this cummerbund detailing around the waist with this subtle little pressed in Givenchy logo in there. It's just a very clean look that I'm sure will sell really well for them. And now this one, I'm just like confused because this does not look like anything we have seen out of Matthew M. Williams Givenchy up to this point. It's completely out of left field. It's odd. I mean, here's the thing. It looks really good. I really like this piece, but it doesn't fit in with anything else that we're being shown. So you just have to find your voice. And it is also a bit derivative, like that crop. There are a lot of brands doing that kind of crop bomber varsity jacket right now. It reads as kind of Pierre Moss a little bit Margiela, a little bit like Hyder Ackerman. There's a lot going into this, and none of it is Givenchy, none of it is Matthew M. Williams. So definitely needs to keep finding his own voice and not looking to others to kind of see what he should do, because it doesn't really work. Even if it looks good, it doesn't work for you. You got to find your own path. And here we are, we have made it to the crazy, crazy shoes. I'm so excited to talk about these. So let's start right there with those. So definitely these ones were a miss with most people. I saw them described online as like Bowser shoes, as potatoes, but I think they're really cool. I'm sorry, you guys. So they're these kind of clog mules. They have these crazy studs on them coming off in all directions. And you can't see it from this picture, but I'm sure we'll get another angle later. They also have a strap that comes around the back of the heel and then a piece that protrudes out. Like there's so many elements to this. They're so oversized, but they just look like really cool kind of studded slippers, like house slippers. I don't know. I haven't seen them before. And that's really all I'm ever looking for. I want something new. I want something exciting. I want something that's not derivative of anybody else. And this is that. So I want more of this. Like, don't tell him this stuff sucks. Don't tell him it's a disappointment. Tell him, even if I don't like this one, I want you to keep taking these types of risks. Like, that's what we need to be saying. The rest of the look is fairly simple. It's really just a kind of tee up for those shoes, right? You're really showcasing those. But there's a cool jacket with a very large kind of flap, like a neck. That must come up really high when it's fully zipped up. But when it comes down, it really lays nicely over that jacket. So nothing mind-blowing, but also some cool layered pieces in there as well. Okay, here they are once again, and this time they are in the potato colorway. And I honestly like these even more. When you put them in this color, now they start looking like studded ass Birkenstocks. Like, it's so cool. No one is doing that, so I am here for it. And we also get a better look at the rest of the pieces because now they're in a really cool like linen silver colorway that really showcases some of those details even more. So for instance, now we can see that they're the kind of like ripstop whatever cords at this. It may be actually hooded. Like, that's really cool. I didn't notice that on the last piece, and that's another new element that differentiates it and makes it not just a simple zip up jacket. So I'm here for it. Okay, here we go. Now, I like this. Now he's taking that look from a few photos ago, and he's Givenchying it up. Like that red kind of collegiate colorway, whatever that was, it did not feel like him. But now it's hard, right? It's sexy. It's oversized branded. It's really hyped up. And this is what you need to be doing. You need to be taking those elements and making them your own. So I would have just dropped that red one that really didn't fit with the rest of the oeuvre, and I would have just gone with this. So now you've got the crazy logos on there. You've got the leather sleeves. You've got the nice logo Givenchy brand print across the chest. And now once you do those strap-ups in black around the waist, it starts looking very like bondage, very sexy, very dominatrix. So I am now so here for it. And now we get to take a look at these shoes from the side, and we get to take a look at that back. So also we get to see the kind of scalloped sole, which again is a really nice touch and a kind of element of artistry that doesn't just take these down and make these the weird slippers that people say they are. So the strap around the back definitely looks a bit like a house arrest monitor. And again, I'm here for it. Like, it's so cool. It's so weird. It's like suet coke, house arrest thing, like weird clogs. I don't know, Crocs. They're cool, you guys. Stop making fun of him. I know I was joking and crying in the intro, but I'm here for it. And now we're kind of going in the wrong direction once again. So we have like the clogs, but now they don't have the spikes anymore, and now they're in like a snake skin, which is a very Alix thing to do, but now you've taken away some of the interesting elements and it just doesn't excite me as much anymore. And also we've got to talk about this jacket. It's like a duvet puffer coat. Matthew M. Williams and Alix have been working with Moncler for a couple seasons now, so maybe he's taking some cues from them. But it's really, really derivative to me. I have a coat from Random Identities that this is reminiscent of. Of course, Moncler has a lot of ownership of this, but I've also seen Rick Owens do some coats that are very similar to this, but much more interesting and much more exaggerated. Like, this is just, it's not original and it's quite blah. The one thing I will say about this look is now he's taken that kind of neck wrap bikini piece and he's put it on a male model, which I think is great. Like, keep doing that, please. And now we get into a bit of tailoring. So you've got a zip-up shirt where the zipper is very, very contrasting. Like, that metal, it really stands out against the brown of the suit. And I'm here for that. Like, that shirt is beautiful. And Alix is really, really good at tailoring, actually. Like, their tailored looks are really nice. So the more he can bring that into Givenchy, I'm really happy with that. If he can do new cool things with tailoring, a kind of stale space for all intents and purposes, like, I'm here for it. I would wear the hell out of this to work, like to an important meeting. God damn, I would own that place, and you would too, you know it. That being said, the hat is a fucking disaster. Like, that's some weird Indiana Jones shit. It looks like a tassel going on at the front. Like, that's a disgusting hat. Like, throw that in the trash immediately, please. Same thing with the bag. Like, the spiky ass branded pearl bag with this look is awful. Like, that is some terrible styling. So the accessories here, please light them on fire and, you know, I don't know, send that in a rocket ship, a dumpster rocket ship to space, please. Get rid of it. Here's another case of bad styling. Like, again, we've talked about the slippers. I like them. I think they're cool. And I think they actually go really well with these pants. The fit on the pants, though, is a bit weird. This model looks too short for this look, I would say. Either that or it's fit badly. Like, the cuts are weird. So the crotch goes down way too low. It needs to be more fitted there. The cuts, the slits up at the ankles look like they're happening too high. Like, it looks like the pants need to come down on the leg a bit further. So that's weird. And also the fit of the jacket is just really, really off. It makes him look much kind of rounder than he does. It's just kind of weird. The fabric's too hard for a kind of nice drape. I don't know if that's what they were going for. And also the pieces in and of themselves, there's like 4 different types of textures and looks and colors going on here. And other than the shoes and the pants, they don't fit well together. The jacket is very reminiscent of some other brands, like that kind of more rock and roll, Saint Laurent, Celine type of vibe. So some of these pieces can be saved, but the look itself definitely cannot. So this look is a weird one for me. I really like the fit of the pants. Of course, we've already talked about the shoes. The accessories are way too much. I don't like those. He's wearing a simple t-shirt, which I'm totally down with. And the jacket is a weird one. You can see, I think it's got their logo kind of pressed in there. I'm sure it's a really interesting kind of new high-tech fabrication. I don't really understand what the patches are for. So I'm just kind of confused. It also doesn't, again, it doesn't look like what I'm looking for out of Matthew & Williams Givenchy. Sure, it's dark, but just dark doesn't really fit the aesthetic. I want more than dark. I want sexy as well, and this isn't as sexy to me. It's a bit more, it looks a bit more Virgil Abloh, Louis Vuitton, kind of, a little bit like Coach, almost like Coach does stuff like that, where they put their monogram all over a jacket in this kind of fit and fabrication, and you definitely don't want to be looking like Coach. Like, let me tell you, oh God, Coach. No, let's just not go there. So this one's mostly a miss. This looks another weird one. The pants, I'm going to start with the pants again. I like them. I apparently have been really digging the pants in general from this collection, and I don't usually single out pants. Like, trousers aren't what I'm usually looking towards, but here I've been digging them a lot, sometimes a lot more than the looks themselves. Like the jacket, I'm sure it's really nice. It looks like there's some interesting kind of darting going on in the torso area, but then it looks a little stiff the way his arm is, and it just kind of points out there. And then the zip up, I'm trying to understand what this would look like fully zipped up, because it comes out so far, like it just kind of turns into a hood. That might be kind of cool, just a hood going around, but I'm having trouble understanding the piece. The eyewear reads as very Balenciaga to me. So there's some derivative stuff here, but there's also a bit worth saving. I like to see this in a color where it shows off the kind of details a bit more. I think this coat is absolutely stunning. The pieces underneath look more Givenchy to me. The color, listen, I'm going to let him play a bit more with color. I feel like I'm being a bit too harsh after only 2 collections of telling him to stay in his lane and what I think his stuff should look like. But if he keeps doing stuff like this, even though it's not what I was expecting, I'm down for it. Like, the shape of this is absolutely beautiful, the way it kind of flares out and the way the lapels come over in contrast and these kind of flaps at the armpits. Like, everything about this is pitch perfect. So here we're getting into kind of a weird place, because this does read very much as Givenchy to me, but now it's too far. Now he's doing like too much of his thing. So these jeans, they're a bit similar to that kind of very flared up, messed up jeans he did in the last collection, but they also remind me a bit of like Ev Bravado at Who Decides War, a little bit Amiri to me. Like, I don't love these jeans. I think this style's a bit overdone. I do like how even under the distressing, you get more layers, like almost a patchwork type of thing with the denim. So there are some saving graces here, but overall they don't do it for me. The shoes, I don't understand what's going on here. They look like they were recovered from a fire, and that's probably where they should have stayed. Like, they're disgusting. I would never wear those. I get where he's coming from. He's trying something cool, but it just doesn't work in any way here. There's a paperclip necklace coming down. That's been done by a lot of people, but I'd like to get a better look at it before I pass judgment. Then you've got some nice tailoring too. You can see the seams. It looks really well made, but again, you can't see the jacket that well. This one's really showing off the jeans, the shoes, and the bag is very blah to me. So it's kind of a whatever look. Now, this look is actually really, really cool. The hat actually even looks a bit better now. I'm here for the hat, and I haven't liked any of the Matthew M. Williams Givenchy hats yet, so here we are. But the jacket is really, really, really cool. So it's cropped, but then super oversized in the body. I like the way it's kind of got these dropped shoulders, and he seems to really, really like the way these massive lapel, like if you half zip a jacket and then fold it over, he seems to really like the way that looks. And it looks like it's leather on the inside, so it contrasts really well again with that like kind of light olive military green. So this jacket is fucking awesome. On this one, the tailoring is once again beautiful. It looks great. I love the color combination in this one, that kind of darker military green with the clogs, and then this kind of dark blue, dark gray kind of overcoat here. The one thing I will say though is clearly once again he's got the monogram put in there everywhere, micro monogram, whatever print, and I just don't think that is the right lane for him. Every other brand does it. Gucci does it with the GGs, right? Dior does it with their logo. Louis Vuitton does it with LVs all the time. Givenchy, I want to see something cleaner. I don't want to see that monogram print used as an entire print over an entire piece. There are better ways to go about things, more original ways to go about things, in my opinion. And I'm as much of a hypebeast as anybody. I love a great monogram print. I just don't think it's been working for him. Okay, Matt, are you going to make me just keep kind of contradicting myself here? Oh, God, he's really giving me the slingshot, rubber band back and forth here. So now this one that we're looking at, this is like a cutout crochet knit in the monogram. So this, here, I'm going to save myself, and I'm going to say I'm not contradicting myself, because this isn't a print. This is like a cutout knit. And this time it works. Like, that really straight fit just with the kind of spaghetti straps, and you've got the tights, and it's all kind of monotone, and it's these Chelsea boots, I think, also in the pink with like an ombre to them. Like, this look, it's cute, it's sexy, it's kind of weird, it's kind of like matrixy, like, it's really fucking cool, and I'm a big, big fan of this piece. All right, and here's the last piece we're going to look at, because we got to end this on a bit of criticism. We can't end on a high, right? We got to end on a low. That's how you go with things. So, Matthew M. Williams, he did a piece like this last season, and this one, in my opinion, is even worse this time. Those dropped sleeves, extra like double layered sleeves, whatever, that cut looks dirty. It looks just like really fucking bad. Like if you're playing, like if I was messing around and trying to make a cool new blazer, like I'm gonna totally revolutionize tailoring and fashion, and I'm gonna put on an extra drop sleeve that goes over here. That's like what it would look like if I tried to cut it and sew it. And I don't know how to do that shit, okay? I'm no good at that shit. That's what I'm saying. It ain't good. And then tying it across with a belt is just kind of lazy to me. The studs over the sandals, it works much, much, much better as clogs. These sandals really do like nothing for me. Yeah, I'm just like not here for this look at all. So that is the Fall 2021 Givenchy collection by Matthew M. Williams. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you enjoyed my hot takes, my roast, my praise, my disappointment. You shared it with me. And just, stop making fun of Matty. Stop making fun of him. You gotta push him along. You gotta give him some positive reinforcement. That's how people grow. It's, you gotta give him the carrot and not the stick. So I'm all for it, even though I criticize, it's all out of love and wanting to see the best clothes possible. So let me know what you think about this collection in the comments below. Make sure you take a look at the other video on screen here, subscribe to my channel, like this video, and I'll see you next time.